That's right. It's the morning show right here on KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and of course, Roku TV. Glad to have you with us on today's show. We've got Melissa Gonzalez from the Lioness Group, all the way from the East Coast, going to be joining the West Coast right here of the morning show's episode. We're going to be talking about a really cool new, I guess I would call it innovative technology, which allows you to pay for clothes over time with no interest. How cool is that? Like, break it up. We got also Bill Norby of Applebee's over there who will be spending time with us here on the morning show. But first of all, we got to say a big hello to Mr. Jesse Sanchez. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
So I got a question for you. If you could get clothes now and then break it up over, like, remember layaway situation? Did you ever do a layaway when you were younger or even now?
No, I've never. I've done a layaway a couple times, but never clothes because I'm not too cool on putting a jacket on layaway in winter and then finally paying it off in summer. I'll wear
Yeah.
that jacket all summer.
You're- it's just I think I've done it a couple of times, and I think I forgot the layaway, so I think they kept my money. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a thing, right? But we're going to be talking about really cool technology around the corner with Melissa, and I have to say this is a pretty good idea, especially for those that you need it now, but you're like, oh, I get paid only once a week or every other week, so how do I break it down, and what does that look like, and how can I not have to pay fees on this? So we'll be talking about that around the corner. Very exciting information there. Also, lots of stories trending right now. One of which the coronavirus has kind of the biggest talk of the news outlets. I mean, everywhere you turn, there is news about the coronavirus, including some good news. Believe it or not, I know you're thinking, wait, there's good news on this. There were some that were kind of sequestered over to the side for quite some time, and thankfully they got let out. So we'll talk about that as well. And then I think on the opposite side, there was one that was tested for coronavirus, but they're like, where did the guy go? So we'll talk about all of that and more right after these messages. Stay tuned right there. Go download our app. It's free, KVVB TV on Roku. Yes, you can watch us on your television set right there or join us on our social media. We'll do shout outs coming up next right around the corner. Stay tuned right there. We'll be right back. All right, those of you tuning in live on our social media platforms, we appreciate you. We're on a commercial break for those of you that's joining for our very first time. Big shout out on Facebook. We see you guys over there. We got Tim Harris says buenos dias. Sandy Villanueva tuning in says, good morning, my morning family. Ready for my daily informative information and smiles and laughter. Judy Munoz. Oh, I love it when Judy tunes in. You know why? Judy shares to a million different, and all of a sudden our comments go up. It's just amazing. Thank you, Judy. We really do appreciate you. Let's see. It says, morning, everybody watching from Rawlins, Wyoming, at work, working and listening. Oh, very cool. Let's see. We got mom over there. Let's see. So on the home front, by the way, don't know if you saw my post, I think, right, Jesse? I think I saw your comment or your like there.
Yep.
For the rest of you, Candy's doing a lot better. A lot better. I wanted to post a photo of her. She actually, but I didn't want to because then I thought, well, if that were me, that would not, like, she still has. You know that they could feed you through your nose, Jesse? Did you know that was a thing?
No.
It sounds
That.
odd, right? I know. Yeah, because if you
Yeah.
can't,
Your boss. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't
Wow.
swallow, so they have this thing hooked up, and it goes to. And anyway, it's like a. I mean, it's liquid. It's not like obviously full food, because that would be weird. Um, but yeah, they just. I guess they bypass. It's. I don't ask me how they do this. So anyway, so I yeah, but she had just this beautiful little smile, which we haven't seen in quite some time, and so they were able to take her off the. She's able to breathe on her own, so that's a good thing. And they took out the
Ten
tube, and
seconds.
her levels look really good. So we're very hopeful that it continues on that path. She's still in ICU, so they're still watching her, but much better news. Like,
2 seconds.
so there you go. That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our already live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and of course now our great family over there at Roku. Glad to have you with us. On today's show, we're going to be joined a little bit later on with Melissa Gonzalez and a special company, which I'm going to let her introduce, because this company, I checked a little bit of what they're about. And it's a pretty cool service, which you can get clothes and or merchandise, and then just break up over payments versus paying interest. And so we'll talk about that around the corner. One of these cool new app technologies out there, which you definitely want to be in the know about. So we'll talk about that. Also, Bill Nordby over there at Applebee's will be joining us a little bit later. And speaking of sports news, we've got some news over there, which I'll wait for Bill's segment to mention that. But evidently, we got a new Dodger. Yeah, so we'll talk about that as well. And first, we got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
So, got a question for you.
Okay.
Coronavirus. Have you seen the latest in news on this particular outbreak?
I've heard a lot of stuff, so let me know what you know that I don't.
Well, I'll share one with you, and then actually you're probably thinking, wait, I thought this show was positive. Well, we've got a little bit of a positivity note here, oddly enough. I know. So this happened though. A labeling error on samples being tested for the coronavirus caused a U.S. citizen who was evacuated from Wuhan, China, the epicenter of the outbreak, to be temporarily discharged after initial testing determined they had not contracted the virus. But further testing determined the patient was actually positive for coronavirus. The mistaken release of the patient follows a similar incident in Japan. 2 men tested negative on January 30th after returning to Japan on a chartered flight from China, but then were found to have the virus following tests undertaken a week later. So that makes you kind of go, what? University of California, San Diego Health released a statement announcing that 4 patients were evacuated at their hospital and tested by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention for coronavirus. The CDC directed the discharge of the 4 patients on Sunday, and they were returned to the Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, where more than 200 people evacuated from China are spending a 14-day quarantine. Officials detected the labeling error as the patients were being driven to the Marine Corps Air Station, and so there you go. The mix-up, though, occurred because the CDC found that a large batch of samples taken from those quarantined at the base tested negative. The woman's sample was taken at the hospital where she was under observation for a cough. The woman was released from the hospital after the CDC said that everyone who was quarantined tested negative for the viral infection. So that's on one end of the spectrum of news. Makes you kind of scratch your head right there, Jesse?
Just a bit. That's kind of scary.
Yeah, according to this, there are now 13 cases of 2019 coronavirus in the U.S. Globally, more than 43,000 people have been diagnosed with the virus. And those are just people that actually got the diagnosis, the official diagnosis. Who knows how many are still at the house or just wondering if it's just a regular flu, wondering what this is. But so far, confirmed deaths, 1,000 deaths. So this is definitely one on the increase. On Tuesday, about 200 people are expected to leave quarantine, and that is exactly what happened yesterday. So on the flip side of that, the good news, and I'm sure they really felt good. They actually threw all of their face masks up in the air, although I'd be like, whoa there, let's just keep the face masks on. Why not? But yeah, according to this, coronavirus evacuee opened up about life on the Air Force Base as quarantine was lifted for them. He says, we're all free now. So the Riverside County Public Health Officer announced that no one in the group, many of whom work for the U.S. State Department or are related to someone who does, had tested positive for the virus, and that as of Tuesday, they were free to leave the March Air Reserve Base where they had been quarantined since January 29th. Now, I'm just saying, Jesse, if this were you on the flip side of that, how happy would you be?
I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, me too. And they were in quarantine
Yeah,
in our own backyard, by the way, Riverside, California. So,
they should be lucky they're not on that cruise in Japan.
oh wow, I know. I saw that, by the way. How many people? Like thousands are on this, and I think over 100, and I forget the latest number, but over 100 tested positive for the coronavirus, and it's spreading like wildfire over there. So yeah, that would be terrible to be quarantined on a ship where you're like, I mean, you're like extended vacation, not right. I think that would. I don't think I'd want to do a cruise after that. To be honest, I would. I'd have reservations, I'd say. But one of the evacuees sent a thrilled selfie video, and as he made his way out the door, he said, "Today is the last day. We're heading home." Jared Evans, 27-year-old quarterback for the Chinese National Football League's Wuhan Berserkers. Yeah. He says, we're all free now. We've graduated. He then thanked the CDC and state officials for doing an amazing job. Evans had told the news outlet, my heart is in Wuhan. I felt grief to leave my friends who are stuck behind. The city is in complete lockdown, which is kind of scary when you think about that. If the roles were reversed and the outbreak had happened here, what would that mean for both us and our neighbors, right? You ever think about that, Jesse? Like this could have happened pretty much anywhere. And I understand like prices over there are surging to an unreasonable amount because, food stocks are low in supply. People are not allowed in or out now. So it's a pretty scary time if you're living in China. But there you go. So, but these quarantines are very, very necessary. And so we thank, of course, the CDC and all those that are involved to put, especially those that are in harm's way, which I can imagine like the whole face mask and the whole 9 yards, where they have to make sure that, of course, this doesn't get further out. So those that were in charge of this, I do say a big thank you. Oh, by the way, the one that you're talking about, Jesse, is the Diamond Princess. 135. Here's the news here. 135 tested positive for the coronavirus. That was as of Monday. The vessel's docked in Yokohama, Japan. And a passenger, David Abel, has been vlogging on Facebook where he shared that internet connections, meal deliveries, and morale have run thin, as you can imagine, right? He said this, quote, first meal in 18 hours. Yeah, for 18 hours. He's reportedly on board with his wife, Sally. And so, people are looking at this. He's like, being diabetic and dairy intolerant, there's nothing here I can eat. They have since brought me 4 bread rolls and butter. The 74-year-old also did not respond for a comment, but said to the Washington Post, we've got 2 weeks extra cruise, albeit a confined cruise. You've got to make the best of the situation, haven't you? But I'm sure that in 10 or 12 days' time, I'll be pulling my hair out. So a lot of people over there I think they're going to want to throw a party once they get released, provided they don't get the coronavirus on that ship. Very scary time we live in, right? So be careful out there and bundle up and take these things seriously. Back to my sister, by the way, just because there's a little bit of a tie-in, but not quite. She had not, of course, contracted the coronavirus. However, a lot of this started by influenza A, the flu, which we talk a lot about on the show here. We've talked to professionals. We've talked to ones that say, get your flu shot, especially for those age groups which are already susceptible. And if you look at the numbers around the world, just the flu itself, huge numbers on that if you don't take care of that. So be careful out there if you haven't got your flu shot and you're thinking, well, I can weather it. Just be prepared. That's all I got to say on that. Because I'm going to admit quite publicly and openly, I don't get the flu shot myself, but I feel like I'm in that category where I can still fight it and get well. But there's those that have like a weakened immune system or other situations that definitely need it. And of course, the elderly as well. And so be careful out there because this is really here. And unfortunately, hopefully, it won't. I would imagine, or I'm hoping, that they'll have like a sudden antidote for this coronavirus situation in the next month or so. I don't know how quick they're working at it on that end, but I would imagine they can't be just asleep at the wheel. Let's face it. So let's speed that up and get that right. Jesse, switching gears up to a little bit lighter note, have you noticed on social media, or have you had any of your friends, or have you done the broom challenge?
The what challenge?
Oh, count yourself lucky over there. So a lot of people are posting pictures of a broom standing up upright, right? Because you're thinking, oh, okay, brooms usually you like, you kind of lay them to the side because they kind of, right? Have you ever tried to make a broom stand upright? It's a broom challenge, and
Huh.
yeah, it took over on Twitter, then it flipped over to Facebook, kind of like coronavirus, right? On Monday, following claims that on certain days of the year, a broom can stand upright by itself. And this is what everybody's posting, by the way. This goes to show you got to do research before you participate in any of these challenges. So everybody is posting this. NASA said February 10th was the only day this could happen because of the Earth's gravitational pull. So everybody's been posting that as though it's a fact. Reality, of course, set in for a lot of people that did the research and said, no, it's not the case. The broom can actually stand up at any time of the year if you just put it down just correct. So there you go. It's not a real thing. So if you have your friend or family member, but it kind of looks cool, right, Jesse? I mean,
It does. Okay, you know what? I've seen pictures of those on my feed, but I wasn't sure what they actually were.
now you know. Now you know,
That
people.
it makes sense why they were doing that. Okay, so you thanks for putting it into context.
You're welcome. Yeah, yeah. I know a lot of people are like, what is this thing? I'm not going to lie. I almost wanted to do this and participate in this because I remember one time, and my friend did this, where there's a certain time, during the equinox, you could set up an egg. I don't know. I don't know why that one didn't go viral, but you can set up an egg upright, and it'll stand upright and not tilt over if you do it just right. But again, that's during the equinox. But I guess that's not the same thing. So according to this, it's just being spread out, and you guys are looking kind of foolish. So don't do it. All right. All right. Moving on, though, we appreciate you. We've got lots more to talk about right after these messages, including Bill Nordby over there at Applebee's. Find out what's the latest special over there and how you can participate right after these messages. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right. Social media land. We got Delaware. Shells tuning in. Thank you, Delaware Shells. Agnaldo Costa, 456. Thanks for tuning in. John Hammond, 68. And elvaldez.com. elvaldez.com. Let's see. On Facebook land, we see you guys over there. Angela Arahu says, hello from Riverside. Glad to have you, Angela. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Mom's over there saying flu season ends in May. It's still time to get your flu shot. And Lucy over there, also known as Jesse's mom. Let's see, Diana Chinevere. Thank you for tuning in. Liliana Andriani. Big thank you to Liliana Andriani, which, by the way, that when my sister was admitted to the hospital, we were supposed to go to the hockey game at Citizens Bank. And we got like special tickets for us, but we had to cancel last minute. So Liliana, hope you invite us again to the next one, because Angel Jewelers is a big sponsor over there at Citizens Bank. And we love Angel Jewelers. They got great deals, great stuff. Just ask for Liliana and she'll help you out. Josue over there. Good morning, Josue. Glad to have you with us. Diana Chenevere says, people have too much time on their hands and must be really bored to put brooms on tables to see if they stand. But when you see it and like people are like, "Oh, it's NASA," and you take it for you, especially when those people that you trust, and then you learn never to trust again after that because you're like, "Oh, I look foolish now," right? You have any of those friends, Jesse? They'll just they'll just do anything.
Friends that'll do anything?
Yeah, and then you follow
Hmm.
them, and you're like, "Oh man, we all look foolish."
No.
I have quite a few of them. They're all on Twitter and Facebook, but which is why I kept seeing it come up and up. I'm like, oh, they're doing it, and then some of them like, yeah, I'm not surprised because some people don't do double check like news stories. I learned way back when on MySpace days. I remember posting something in MySpace way back when. This was before I was doing news actually, and I guess they considered me news just because I had a YouTube channel. And I remember posting something that was
20
incorrect, and
seconds.
boy, did I get reamed out for it. And I said, you know what? I'm never going to post something without double checking multiple sources. So I wait until I post and or make sure I try to get the right information because I've heard bad information over the years and I'm like, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. They debunked that. That's a myth. That's fake.
2 seconds.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the
Welcome
morning
back.
show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and of course, Roku TV. I'm sure you have one in your own neck of the woods. It's Applebee's very own General Manager of Beaumont and Banning, Bill Norby, with us. Good morning. Welcome back to the show, Bill.
Good morning, Aaron, Jesse, and all the KMT listeners. Yes, it is Wednesday, and of course that means Seniors Day. So if you're 55 or older, you're going to get a 30% discount just for coming on down to Applebee's.
Do you guys card people when they say that, or do you take them for their word? Because I would imagine there's some people that are like right on the cusp, and they try to take advantage of that.
Yeah, some do. We do not ask for any IDs or anything. We just let their word. But some do, but most most don't really want to necessarily. If they're 55, they don't necessarily want to call themselves seniors. But there are a few.
For a 30% discount, I would call myself senior. I'm just saying. I think there's an easier way to get a discount when you listen to KMET. Can you share that?
Yes, absolutely. So all KMET listeners just get 10% off all regularly priced items every single day. And pretty soon we've got the Angels starting up. So when they and they're looking good this year. So every day that they win, we're going to double that to 20% because we are a proud sponsor of Angels broadcast on KMET.
Yeah, big shout out to, again, the entire station here. We do broadcast the Angels. I'm glad you brought that up, Bill. So you could always tune in to KMT 1490 AM for that. We love Applebee's for doing that. Now, speaking of Angels looking good, I understand in the baseball world some trades have been confirmed. Any that you're excited about?
Well, the Mookie Betts deal did go through. He is with the Dodgers, as is Price from Boston. However, that deal that we spoke of, I think it was last week, we were talking about with the Dodgers and Angels making a deal that fell through,
Right.
and so the Angels are not going to get Josh Peterson or that pitcher, and we've still got Luis Rengifo, which he's a fine second baseman. Will probably end up starting the season in AAA. He's still got some options left. But, somebody's going to make, the Dodgers are going to make that deal with somebody. They're going to try to move Josh Peterson at some point because they just have too many quality outfielders. So somebody will, and then who knows, maybe it'll be the Angels. Maybe they'll renegotiate and get back to the table about that. But I think Josh Peterson will move somewhere. It's just a matter of time to see where he goes.
Yeah, very interesting. We're all waiting to see what's going to happen next. Speaking of which, hockey. Did you see the latest in hockey?
I did not. What happened?
So evidently, this was again the Anaheim Ducks during the game. Very, very interesting. One of the players actually collapsed there on the bench and had a cardiac arrest. Very scary. for those involved. And again, I understand he's recovering. He's in the hospital there. But can you imagine that? Do you follow hockey there, Bill?
Don't follow it a whole lot. When it gets to the stand, when it gets to the playoffs, they do kind of take a look at it. But I haven't heard that. I'll definitely read up on that one. Hopefully, he's going to be okay.
Yeah, again, it was they literally canceled the entire. They postponed the game, I should say. And according to this was to St. Louis game when Jay Baumeister collapsed on the bench after suffering what the team called a cardiac event. Doctors from both teams rushed to assist his players. Lifted the bench out of the way. Eventually, he was stretched off the ice, and the game was postponed. The team will give an update on his condition as well. So, again, we're watching that very closely. However, on to more exciting news. Bill, Applebee's got some really kind of cool specials over there. What's going on for this week? Especially, I understand you're kind of bringing a lot of lovers together with any special deals.
Sure. So this Friday is Valentine's Day, so come on, bring your sweetie down to Applebee's. We have the Aristobols. You've seen the commercials. They start at $7.99, and there's 5 to choose from. My favorite is the orange chicken bowl that comes in at $11.99, and of course we have our 2 for $20, where you can get an entree or 2 entrees and an appetizer for $20, $25, or $30, depending on the entrees, and don't forget, our neighborhood drink of the month, all month long of the month of February, is a vodka strawberry lemonade. And so that, you really can't beat that price.
Yeah, no, and that's Bill's favorite, so I still owe him the $1 vodka. I think I'm going to Venmo you, okay, because it's kind of hard for me to get down the hill over there sometimes. But for those that are in the area, where do they go? What do they ask for? How do they find you?
Sure, and we're down here at 1585 East 6th Street, where Beaumont and Banning come together at the Highland Springs exit of the 10 freeway.
Yeah, and don't forget, again, tell your waiter you listen to KMET Radio, and they'll give you a special discount. Unless you've already got that senior discount, just go ahead. But tell them both. That way they know, you heard it here first. And for any other Applebee's in any other area, Bill, anything else that you could say for the national chain that if somebody's listening in, they're like, man, I wish Bill was in our section of the world, but he's not. But anything they should ask for in their neck of the woods?
Well, absolutely. Of course, a couple things I already mentioned are national. That's the Aristobols and the neighborhood drink of the month. Those are nationally. And then, of course, don't forget the half-price appetizers during happy hour. Almost all the Applebee's have some sort of happy hour special. And here in Beaumont, it's half price from 3 to 6 and 9 until we close at midnight every day. And most of our appetizers are half. And a lot of the Applebee's have similar deals too.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because there's sometimes like after the movie theater or a fun evening, I'm like, where do we go? Now I know Applebee's has it where it's at, which I've gone a couple times to Applebee's late at night, and I'm never disappointed. So, Bill, thank you for spending time with us here on the morning show. We'll see you next week right here.
Absolutely. See you down at Applebee's.
All right. Bill Norby, everybody, over there at Applebee's in Beaumont and Banning. Again, if you mention KMET Radio, they'll give you an additional discount. Any other Applebee's, they'll look at you funny. But then just, pull us up on your phone, say, oh, look, yeah, and they'll be like, oh, wow, we need to listen to KMET Radio and KVVB TV as well. And, okay, so we got to take a quick break. When we come back, it's Melissa Gonzalez of the Lioness Group and her special guest joining us right around the corner right after these messages. Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after these messages. right. So we're waiting in the wings over here for our commercial break. We're not given many minutes. We're only given a little bit of 3 minutes to get everything ready on our end. And hopefully we'll have Melissa Gonzalez here just around the corner and her special guest. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
Doing fantastic. You're looking glowingly glowing today.
Okay.
Well, I noticed you have a new background there. I understand you're in a new facility as well, right?
I am. Hopefully it's better than what it was. We are still soundproofing it a little bit, but I think it's an improvement from where we were.
I love it. I love to hear new digs and new area. Okay, so we haven't gone back to live just yet, but can you say the name of the company we're going to be introducing next?
Klarna. Klarna. Klarna.
Got it. Klarna. Okay, Klarna. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I think I need my
Klarna.
glasses because I thought the R in the end kind of meant Klama. So I was like, no, I don't want to mess that up. Okay, Klarna. There you go. Yeah, you know how
Klarna.
Google and the R in the end, and then it looks, and then you're like, oh man, I don't need glasses, and you're like, oh yes, I do. So it's like that. But in other news,
20
Melissa,
seconds.
Oh, Jesse, we've got them calling in, by the way. So have they called in?
Yes,
just
I
yet?
have them on the line. Yeah, they're on the phone.
Awesome. Okay, everybody's good to go.
Great.
All right, so just sit tight there. I'll reintroduce you, Melissa, and then I'll let you introduce Klarna as well.
2 seconds.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and, of course, now Roku. Glad to have you back with us. Each and every month, we have a special guest with us, and returning correspondent Melissa Gonzalez of the Lioness Group joins us right now. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Melissa.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's always fun to be on.
No, thank you. Again, for those that don't know, you are the retail strategist and expert over there. People come to you to make sure things happen, to make sure shopping is done in the best way. But I understand our next guest actually provides shoppers with a really cool app or like no interest. Can you explain to me what's going on over here?
Yes, it's the buy now, pay later, and it's an interesting way of shopping. I think in some senses we do that with credit cards, but as we enter this younger generation, especially Gen Z, they don't really believe in credit cards and accumulating debt. And so this is an alternative payment for them to, acquire what they want today and then stagger out how they pay for it. And I think it's also been really great for brands.
Well, and I love this because I was talking to Jesse about this as well and this whole program. And I have to say, I've done like layaway programs, and layaway programs, I think they still have my money because I forgot about the layaway program. This is kind of the opposite of that, but kind of almost the same idea, right? But you get it on the front end.
Yeah, you get the product on the front end, and I don't think Klarna will let you forget to pay for it. But so David, our guest, could definitely tell us more about that. But it's a growing trend. It's gaining popularity really quickly, and brands are really getting really up to speed in how to integrate it into what they offer their customers.
All right, so joining us right now is the president of the U.S. for Klarna, David Sykes. Welcome to the show, David.
Hey, team. Thanks very much for having me. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, well, and Melissa, I mean, you know more than I do, but I have a quick question for you, David. You have this really cool app. Who was the first person that thought about this and then put it into effect?
Yeah, that's a great question. Look, I think it would be our global CEO, Sebastian. So Klarna's been doing this around the world for a long period of time, where effectively we work with retailers to make it easier for consumers to make payments, young consumers in particular. And I think the number one question we always got from the young customers who use our product is, I wish I could use this anywhere, not just the retailers that offer Klarna. So basically,
Yeah.
develop the app, which means a consumer can use Klarna anywhere they want.
Did we lose him, or do I? Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But,
Well,
but yeah.
Melissa, you had a question for him if he's still there with us.
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, I think they're doing a lot of great things, and I know that it was originally launched in Australia, and so wanted to talk about the traction seeing here in the U.S. and some of the exciting brands. Right now, it's actually New York Fashion Week here in New York City, so there's some interesting integrations that they've been working on, and some exciting news that they've been getting with how they're combining. Their app and filtering big tech into New York Fashion Week. And they had a feature story written about them recently about, the payment service sponsoring a set of fashion presentations at New York Fashion Week, letting customers purchase items from collections on payment plans. So how cool is that? And I think that that's also the way of the world. It's like that whole see now, buy now is definitely a trend that we've been seeing in New York Fashion Week, and now it's like letting you also purchase this with this new payment plan, and so I think that's like another kind of forward thinking we're seeing in how the industry is evolving, especially when it comes to fashion.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, I'm already going to sign up for this immediately. David, are you there with us?
I am. Sorry, I think I've got a bad line. Can you hear me?
Yes, we got you back. But we're both excited about this. I could understand, like, not just millennials, but any other person out there that loves to shop. But sometimes, times are tough. Change is strange. You get what I'm saying? Like, you want to break it up over some time. You got an event to go to. How many different, retail outlets are accepting this form of payment?
Yeah, a lot. So globally, we work with 200,000 retailers. Here in the US, we work with close to 4,000 retailers, and some really big ones like Nike and H&M and Farfetch and ASOS. So on any given day, Klarna processes about 1 million transactions around the world. So really popular solution, and one that excitingly is growing very, very fast.
Yeah, but Melissa, I mean, the moment you brought this to me, I thought I was a kid in the candy store. I was like, you know what, I can get all the stuff I've needed, because I don't like to pay interest on something that I got a sale deal on. Does it still apply for sales?
It does. It does. It applies for whatever the price is at the checkout. The consumer will just use the Klarna app and divide that into 4.
Yeah,
and
Melissa.
I'm just wondering, so we talked a little bit about your integration here with Fashion Week. Like, what kind of reception were you seeing from consumers? Did you see a surprising engagement? Did people intuitively get it? Were they shopping the runway?
Yeah, very much so. So when we partner with a retailer, and the New York Fashion Week partnership is a good example, not uncommon for us to process 20% of all of our partners' orders. It's a really straightforward process for a consumer. And young people in particular, very familiar with apps. It's an intuitive process for them.
Yeah, I'm over the roof with this. So how do we get this? How does somebody download it? What do I have to sign up and enter my information? Of course, my credit card information and/or my social security. Do you do credit checks?
No, we don't do any hard credit checks. No requirement for a social security number. That's really important. All you need is a bank card. Most of the consumers using Klarna are using a debit card. So the customers who typically use Klarna have chosen to not embrace traditional credit products, which is why they are using our product in such large numbers. But a very straightforward process, instant approval, no long forms.
Well, and Melissa, look, you're a strategist. How does this help, again, let's say a business, because he mentioned a list of businesses that are participating in this, but what about those that are not, and should they be?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's going to be more and more an adoption to this, and especially speaking to that demographic who doesn't want a credit card, and they don't want, to eliminate the opportunities for sales conversions. I think that with more and more of this emergence of digital physical changing the way consumers think and how they interact with brick and mortar, I think more and more brands and retailers are going to have to adopt this way of thinking.
David, I got a quick question for you. Are anything that we're going to be able to see around the corner that like you're excited to almost announce but can't, but should and want to?
With ambassadors like Snoop Dogg and Celeste Barber and RuPaul's Drag Race, and we're actually on Friday going to announce another global ambassador, an absolute superstar. I can't do it just yet, but it's a couple of days away around a very special Valentine's Day campaign that we're pretty excited about.
Wow, very exciting. Well, Melissa, I mean,
Ooh,
if you have any other questions, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're going to sign up. I think that those partnerships sound exciting. And I think that people still have a few days left for Valentine's Day shopping. So, you can grasp that opportunity to purchase something for a significant other and have it for them in time. It's only Wednesday.
Well, and I like it because you make it so easy. Like, okay, so I understand, like, and I saw a diagram which was 4 different payments, like in a month. Within 30 days, you get it paid off. What if I get paid only, twice a month? Is there a way to just do it on 2 different payments, or how does that work?
Yeah, great question. You can make repayments anytime you want. The reason why we chose every 2 weeks in the pay cycle. So the consumer's only going to pay 25% of the purchase price. They're going to get the product immediately. So to your point, it's almost like a reverse take on layaway. It makes it really easy for consumers to sort of manage their cash flow. And of course, it's totally interest-free. There's no additional cost to using Klarna.
Yeah, I'm Melissa. I take it you already signed up for this. I need to download this right now. For our audience and anybody that has questions, where do they go? How do I get this? Do I just type in Klarna?
Yeah, just type in Klarna. It's very easy to download our app. It's both available in the Apple iTunes Store and the Google Store. So super easy to download us. Every day, about 30,000 customers are downloading the Klarna app. So really easy to get on board.
Wow, it's spreading like wildfire. I could see like the word of mouth being like, "Hey, you need to Klarna." Yeah, no, I Klarna. You need to Klarna. Melissa, you already Klarna, right?
Yeah, I like this, how we made it a verb. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way we do it here. Okay, so David, I want to say thank you for spending time with us here on the morning show. I know Melissa introduced us, so Melissa, thank you for bringing this like really cool technology. And before I let you both go, Melissa, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think it's always great to see what's new and innovative, and I think Klarna is on that list. And like I said, Valentine's Day is around the corner, so I think it's advantageous that we're, illuminating this in case you want to get some last-minute splurge gift for your significant other, whether it's a galentine or a Valentine.
Oh, I like that. Which you're right. It's Friday, right? I'm ticking down the clock. The lady was like, "Yeah, it's Friday." I'm like, "Oh, wow." I don't know why I thought it was Sunday, by the way, but that's just me. All right, the both of you, thank you very much for spending time with us here on the morning show. Can't wait to download it. Klarna, it's where it's at. Thank you, David, for spending time with us. Melissa, you as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Klarna.com. That's where it's at. You can pick it up, buy it, and then just pay without any interest payments. How cool is that? I like that. Although, don't go over. I forgot to ask about that. What happens if you go over your budget and then you're like, oh, no. And do they have like I don't know, but there it is. Okay, we'll take a quick break here on the morning show. When we get back, we got more stories that are trending right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, Klarna is where it's at. Go check it out. If you got questions, they got answers. And I know I got a couple questions still over there about them. So Patricia Sommer says, my credit card company gives me 5% off. I'm happy. And that's good. That's when you're like disciplined, right? To like pay it off on time. But the younger generation, I mean, I like the way they apportion it out and still you can get something, but you know, it all comes down to how you were trained, right? Jesse, were you good with budgeting your finances over there, or did you go into credit card heaven? Because you almost die when you see that first bill and you're like, oh no, right?
I have a credit card. I don't go crazy on it. I try not to. But yeah, I try and budget the best I can.
Smart. Very smart. Yeah, I remember going into debt at 19, and I was like, oh, no. So it was great when it lasted, right? You're like, yeah, all right. And then those clothes are, like, outdated pretty soon, 5 months later. You're like, I'm still paying on that suit. It was a purple suit, too. I bought, like, a purple suit. I look like the Joker. Remember the Joker? He had that purple suit. I look like that. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, Delaware over there says, I'm hungry. Oh, from the last segment on Applebee's. Let's see, good morning to NHL Ready. NHL Ready, that's National Hockey League, right? So you're National Hockey League ready? Devon over there tuning in. Ladybug. Tanya Ibul. Nader Cocodes. Podel
30
Rio.
seconds.
Josh, and the Real Neon. All tuning in on Periscope. Thanks for the retweets, by the way, and the hearts. Yeah, they have H&M and a couple really, like, known. I wonder if 24-hour, not 24-hour, what's it called? Forever 21 will get on that list. Because they're trying to dig themselves out of
5
bankruptcy,
seconds.
right?
2 seconds.
Okay. Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show
Welcome
here on
back.
ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, KVVB TV 33, various platforms on social media, including Roku. Download us. We are free. It's the morning show each and every day right here, and we are looking at the chat room. Many tuning in over there on Facebook, like Tim Harris. Patricia Sommer says, build credit while staying debt-free. I like that, yeah. Patricia, again, talking about her own special deal that she has over there on her credit card. However, for the rest of you who are thinking, again, maybe should I get it now? Should I get it later? But you're kind of like, you know, your hands are tied. It's that time of the month, and you're like, oh, I want to get a really good gift for somebody, or I have to show up to an event and look really good. Then, of course, you can check it all out right there. The name of the company, again, is Klarna, Klarna.com. And you can shop now, pay later. Shop at your favorite stores today. Experience the freedom to pay later with Klarna. They don't take your credit card. I mean, they do take your credit card. They don't take your Social Security information. So I like that. I like that. That's kind of like we trust you. If you trust us, let's trust each other. So there you go. And they also have it for business, by the way. So you can shop with Klarna and in multiple different ways. So go check it out. And if you're a business, perhaps, and you're thinking, you know what? Yeah, I would let people pay like this because you get paid on the front end, right? And then they just are responsible for collecting. Although I wonder if you don't pay, what happens? Do they like knock on your door, right? Because they know where you live. I'm just saying. Okay, so there you go. Klarna.com is where it's at. I like it. I'm going to get it. I think you should too. Moving on to really cute news, shall we? LA Zoo. Yes, in our own backyard. Not sure if you saw this, Jesse. When's the last time you've been to the zoo, by the way? How long has it been?
Honestly, I can't remember going to a zoo. So
Okay. This is like a good date night. You know, they have like LA Zoo nights, by the way, during the summer, which I highly recommend everybody to do. Not right now, because it's like super cold and super dark. But during the summer, they actually open up and they like put all these cool lights. But this happened recently. You got to check this out. The LA Zoo is excited to show off photos of their new baby. Yes, the California Zoo's gorilla parents, 32-year-old dad Kelly and first-time mom and Gia welcomed the little primate on January 18th. The newborn is the gorilla couple's first baby together and the first gorilla baby born at the LA Zoo in over 20 years. Yeah, Monday, the zoo announced that keepers recently confirmed that the new arrival is a girl. Took them that long to figure it out. It took keepers several weeks to confirm the baby sex. Oh, because the little girl is very attached to mom. You've seen the strength of gorillas, right? You saw King Kong, right, Jesse?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so you
course.
don't like, hey, oh, right? You don't. That's called back up away. So there you go. Often clinging to the mom around the clock. The zoo shared in a release that also included photos of the pair cuddling together. Beth Schaefer, director of animal programs at the LA Zoo, said this, quote, "The last few weeks have been so exciting watching first-time mom and Gia with her new baby. Having gorillas in our zoo is so important so we can connect Angelinos to the amazing biodiversity that exists on this planet and to help ensure that these beings will never go extinct. Like with humans, each mom and baby are different, so some are adventurous and test boundaries earlier, while others stay close for a longer amount of time. We hope guests are enjoying this journey as much as we are." The zoo also added in their release that guests can expect to see the baby gorilla keeping close to mom for the next few months as she nurses, grows, learns more about her surroundings. Dad Kelly, yeah, I don't know if he's getting any sleep over there, will keep an eye on the pair, and the rest of the troop will keep a comfortable distance from Gia and her newborn as everyone assimilates to the new arrival. So how cute is that, right? Little baby gorilla being like looked over by Papa Gorilla and Mama Gorilla and everybody like, don't touch our baby. We'll take you out, gorillas. So there you go. Now, see, isn't that a reason to go like visit the LA Zoo, Jesse?
Yes, that's a good reason. That was really cute, the little baby.
Yeah, so cute. I guess I didn't give the little baby the name, right? So we'll see what the name is over there. And then there is this, by the way, which I thought, since we're going to keep it in the family theme, this segment, Nick Lachey recently went on the news outlets, and we love Nick Lachey. We've had him on our show in the past. Great guy. Really humble, actually. Really humble. I like him. I was commenting the other day how I didn't necessarily prefer, like, there's some couples where you're like, I don't know how long that's going to last. And did you ever watch Jessica Simpson and him, like, on their show, the reality show that they had for quite some time? Did you ever watch that, Jesse?
I cannot confirm nor deny that I have watched said show on MTV.
Oh, that was the show. It was on MTV. See, I completely forgot which channel it was on. Yeah. But yeah, I used to watch it quite regularly, and I thought, I remember thinking, is she putting on a front? And I just felt the whole time like he was kind of the more logical one and the sane one, and then not calling Jessica Simpson insane. She's got her own bow over there and everything. The moment she was like, well, chicken tuna of the sea, we all know how that went. I was like, But Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey have evidently a method for decision making in their marriage, and I think this is really good for all couples to kind of like maybe do, right? So this was they spoke to People Now. The couple and host of Netflix's innovative new dating series Love is Blind said that communication has been key for their marriage of 11 years. Yes, going on 11 years. I can't believe it's that long. Vanessa, I mean, I can. I'm just saying, I can't believe it's been that long since I've seen the other show with him and the other lady, right? Jessica. But he said, or she said this, "I don't let it fester. He doesn't let it fester. We speak our minds. Sometimes you have to walk away," right? Not walk away forever, just kind of like, let's cool off. And then he interjected, he said, "Don't lie, it's all about rock, paper, scissors." What, you ask? Yes, after the pair performed 2 quick games of rock, paper, scissors, which was won by the former 98 Degrees singer, Vanessa said that they typically use that to make decisions about their 3 children. Sons Phoenix Robert, who's 3, Camden John, who's 7, and daughter Brooklyn Elizabeth, who's 5. Vanessa says, I'll be like, who's going to pick him up today? All right, you got it. The mother of 3 reiterated the importance of communication in their marriage, says, I know that sounds cliche, but he isn't a mind reader. I'm crazy. I go from hot to cold, happy to sad. He goes, I never noticed. You know, he's joke because they joke. And then she says to him, he's literally like, I want to be there for you, but I don't know how. Anybody that's been in a relationship for any given time knows this, especially as guys. Says, and I'm like, let me tell you what's going on right now. I have this going on with this. I feel this from the kids, and I want this from you. And he's like, okay, let's work on this. Otherwise, how is he supposed to know that? And vice versa. Yes, women and men, by the way, who are quiet and in their heads all the time. You got to share what's in your head. Because the other partner's like, I'm just trying to figure it out. And you're like, you should know me better. It doesn't work that way. The couple revealed that a recent trip to Hawaii with their children did not go as smoothly as they hoped. Vanessa said, while it was great, I think that they're too young. I don't want to do that for another 5 to 10 years. We have a 7, 5, 3-year-old, and they want to do different things with 3 different levels of swimming. That's only 2 parents. It was the first time I felt the stress of having 3 children. Normally we can manage, and I was like, this is, and then he says one's on the speed slide, one just wants to wait around. So they're just cute the way they go back and forth. Long story short, they play rock, paper, scissors to make decisions, Jesse. What do you think about that?
Rock, paper, scissors is the only true way to get anything decided.
It's true. Well said. Well said. I know. Sometimes we kind of go back and forth. Okay, who's going to put the little one to sleep? Who's going to read? And, you know, we're like, oh, we do tag. Tag, you're it. That's how we roll in our house. But so there you go. Look, lots of stuff going on over there and really cool. And, again, Nick Lachey, I got nothing bad to say about the guy because it's just a really great guy. You could just tell. And, you know, a true family man, which you could see in all those photos that we just posted. For you radio audience, all I could explain is great photos of their entire family. And then there was this. I know we don't have a lot of time on this, but I don't want the fan mail to come in and be upset about this. But Disneyland raising ticket prices once again. Yes, annual passes ahead of Marvel-themed land. Although I'm going to say, you don't want everybody there at the ultra cheap price. I'm just saying when Marvel hits Disneyland, right, Jesse? I mean, what do you think? Are you going to want to go now that Marvel's coming to Disneyland?
I'm going to want to go, but those prices are going to make me not want to go.
Yeah, the select went from $399 to $419. The deluxe pass rose 3% to $829. The signature pass climbed 4% to $1,199. The premier pass jumped 13% to $2,199. The new flex annual pass jumped 8% from $599 to $649. The max pass, which allows visitors to digitally reserve a reservation on rides, increased from $15 to $20. So look, as much as I love Disneyland, I'm just saying, whoa, can we put on the brakes a little? But there you go. Anyway, all right, we got to let the rest of you guys go. Again, make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living, so live it well. Bye-bye, everybody. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on this website. I'm like reading it when it comes to Disneyland. I love Disneyland as the next person who loves Disneyland. We had annual passes to this, but it just got to the point where it was like, you know, it was either that or like just live, right? And there's just a point where you're like, okay, well, we'll put this on the back burner. But I'm kind of hoping they come down at some point. I'm hoping that after like this Star Wars Galaxy big thing, and now with Marvel coming out, right? That, like, I get it. They're going to have a surge of people, and I know that sometimes when they hit capacity, they have to close it down. But I'm just saying, why don't you do that? You know, I just don't know. I'm just, there's nothing fun about being at Disneyland when there's like, you can't move around. So I get the need to like raise it. So like, but still, I'm a little on the fence on that. So there you go. But for more information, if you want more information on this, you go to disneyparks.com. Now, do remember this, though. Disneyland offered discount prices for kids everywhere and Southern California residents starting at $67 per person tickets when they buy a 3-day one park ticket, meaning you go 3 days, but you only go to one park a day, I think. So there you go. That's a pretty cool special, and that's already there. And that's going to be available for purchase until May 18th, 2020. So there you go. I mean, I don't know. It depends how you want to roll with that in the family, of course. But Nick Lachey, of course, I think he tours Disneyland quite often. Okay, we got to let the rest of you guys go. Thank you for making it a great day with us. We'll see you tomorrow right here on the morning show. Make it a great day. Bye-bye, everybody.